The Smokers Roundtable is a pro-marijuana legalization podcast. We do not support the usage of any sort of illegal substance or any illegal activity. Please check with your local state laws before using.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of
The Smokers Roundtable.
With EYEINSEE, Ice Cold, and SPRAWL BANGOWITZ.
Set up. Yo, what's good, world?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Smokers Roundtable. Back at you, June 8th.
Yeah.
Podcast. Getting warmer now and shit. Though today's actual date is May 3rd. I just want to give a quick shout out to Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever.
Right?
For earning me a couple dollars.
Lost a couple bucks on this, but it's only a couple dollars. Yeah.
Oh, so there was
still,
money to
I'm
be
sold.
had on this
Me and
fight,
Ice
huh?
Cold, yeah, we had a
Yeah.
bet.
Oh,
So,
see. Well, there was a lot of money. Apparently, Floyd Mayweather got like 180 million purse on this.
So
And
Something ridiculous.
Pacquiao got like 120.
right. So basically, they split a $310 million jackpot between each other because it's for pay-per-views, ticket sales,
Yeah.
sponsorships. So they all split $310 million between each other. That's insane. So
Big
there's no
money.
real
That's
loser.
why they was talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
You seen them in the ring. They was talking shit all the way to the bank.
Right. They weren't even like. I feel like Pacquiao wasn't doing all his all.
Well,
And-
after the fight, Pacquiao had an interview in which he did state, I could quote him on this one. He said he did his best, and his best wasn't good enough.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, I've
That's what
seen
he said.
Pacquiao
That's what
before,
he
man.
said.
He wasn't fighting his.
He
normal
looked like
fighting
He
style.
looked a little frustrated, like he couldn't find his mark. Like there was only a couple glimpses of actual action from him. A lot of it was he was on the defensive, and he was getting counterpunched the whole night.
Right, with that right hook, man. I mean, with the right jab.
That's the thing. I mean, people people don't get it about Mayweather, but he's a tactical fighter.
He is.
Tactical fighters are boring to watch, but when you know the sport and when you see what he's doing, like, it's amazing to see, like,
He's working.
how he can, all right, I need to win the cards in this round. So he can just mentally calculate,
Right.
like, bam, all right, I got the cards. Like, you know what I mean? So I send a big shout out to him, man. And I know people are swole as shit. They're calling him a chicken in the ring and all
Nah,
that.
you
know
ready
what
for
I'm
this? I
saying?
got another interesting fact for you.
What's that?
You ready for this? Floyd Mayweather's record right now is 49-0.
I know.
That
nice.
makes him
Undefeated.
tied for the best record in boxing ever. He's tied with Rocky Marciano
Oh.
for the best record
Alright.
ever right now. That's a pretty interesting fact.
Yeah, he's
That'll
gonna
be
go down
interesting.
pretty.
It just
pretty
reminds me of
big.
that Coming to America episode, Coming to America movie.
Right.
Why is everybody got to bring up Rocky Marciano?
There you go.
Yeah.
So
He
let's
Beat
get
Joe
it,
Lewis's
Floyd.
ass.
So let's get it, Floyd. Let's get one more in. You can whoop Rocky Marciano's record, and you can go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? So I'm I'm
good
proud
show.
about that. Boring little fight, but I'm proud about that.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, it was a
boring.
decision
Whatever.
fight. It went
Right.
the whole round. It
Which
went
I
all 12.
figured that was gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Neither one of them have real strength, if you ask me.
No, that's the thing. You don't have the heavyweights like you used to have when you had like the Tysons and Holyfields and shit like that.
Even
like,
the Lennox Lewis, who
Yeah,
had a really
yeah.
strong power punch.
Right. He didn't he kill somebody in the
I
ring?
don't think
I don't
he killed
remember.
somebody, but he
Did he?
dared.
Somebody
he might have
died in the
damn
ring. Yeah, I remember Lennox Lewis used to get it in.
Yeah, he had a nice little run.
Yeah, them heavyweight dudes. And once they get that heavyweight division back, I think boxing will it'll get more exciting because your average person doesn't really like watching those smaller guys fight.
Yeah, I mean,
know
they're
what I
more
mean?
energetic usually, but this fight just wasn't as exciting.
I think
It's-
they were nervous of each other.
Perhaps.
Definitely. Yeah.
Perhaps.
There's a lot,
Maybe that's why they
riding on it. Yeah, a lot riding on that fight. So all right. So
6 years in the making.
I'm not gonna lie to the listeners. We're about to touch on this whole Baltimore situation. We do have a traditional show layout, but we might not get to it because I really wanna emphasize on everything that's on the table here.
So you're saying this is breaking news, and this is breaking our usual.
Yeah,
Breaking
in
news
that
and
sense
breaking.
of breaking, yes.
Yeah. So you're
It's not breaking
into your
news.
normal podcast.
Yeah.
interrupting your regularly scheduled program.
Right?
Yeah,
To
There
give
you
our
go.
2 cents on what's happening here.
excellent, excellent.
So I guess we'll start from the top, where there was and we'll give you all the details and shit. So on the street, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 3 cops, correct?
Right. There was 3
That,
cops.
arrested-
2 bike cops and probably 1 that showed up a little bit later.
All right, and they
His name
arrested
Michael Gray?
Freddie Gray.
Freddie Gray.
Freddie
Sorry,
Gray.
Freddie Gray.
Rest in
the Gray
peace.
family.
So they arrested him. I don't know what for.
Because he fled on foot. So
Okay,
the cops
he
were
was running
approaching,
from the police.
and he sees him, and he makes a run for it for no reason. And the
Gotcha.
cops started chasing after him, tackled him, and I think that's where he incurred his injury.
Got you. So during the arrest, they broke his neck.
That's what I think, but
Yeah.
it's not been proven.
Right. They've been charged, but they haven't been convicted yet. Oh no, I think they
No,
they
like
didn't
nobody
charge
knows the point.
they
at
didn't
which-
actually rule it yet.
Right, like
Okay.
when he broke his neck. Did you hear that one interview where the guy was
Yeah,
like,
they're in jail
the
right
other
now.
person was in the
Yeah, I
van,
think
and he
so.
said he was flinging back around, and he broke
Yeah,
his own neck.
they
And-
were trying to say
And there was a
that.
doctor came on and was like, "That's physically impossible
Yeah,
to
you
break
can't
your neck
break
like
your
that."
own neck like that. Yeah. So hopefully by the time this episode airs, they will know a little more detail. But as
They
it
are
stands
in the
right
streets
now,
of Baltimore right now, and people are hopping mad. There's riots going on. Like, let's not understate what's going on. Like, there is some riots going on. There are people hitting the streets. There is mass coordination going on.
Well, it's quelled. It's
well-
stopped since the National Guards has hopped on the streets.
yeah, and let's not blow it out of proportion. They were rioting on 1 block, from what I understand.
One freaking okay. Well, the fires spread out a little bit sporadically around the
Mm-hmm.
city, but it was definitely to one section of the city. It
The
never even
place-
reached to center city of
Right,
Baltimore.
where Baltimore makes his money, there's no problem, right? As far as the aquarium and the
Right,
whole downtown area, the
government
tourist
buildings,
spot.
everything. Yeah.
The tourist spot's fine in Baltimore. Now, from what I've heard from people who live in Baltimore, was that they dropped these buses full of children off in the middle of the block where the riots started, and there were riot officers waiting. The riot officers then began to throw shit at the kids, so then the kids retaliated. That's when the media kicked in and said, well, there's a riot.
Well, do we know who dropped these kids off and who brought them?
School buses.
But
After
who?
school.
Who did it? School buses, schools.
People who drive the school buses.
Well, what I'm saying is, are these people local kids? And
Baltimore.
so they were dropped off, and the cops started throwing
And
objects
the
at
cops,
these kids.
began
Oh,
to
okay.
throw objects at it. That's what one person from Baltimore is stating.
Interesting.
Again, we know about agent provocateurs. We know how. I think a lot of these riots are being. I mean, in Ferguson, they were saying how there's people who weren't from the neighborhood.
Bust in order to incite a situation that could be televised on the media.
Right. So, so that's one theory I want to bring out on the table or whatever. But I guess, we'll just start it off with, even if we do say like there are just, general civil unrest and that the people did start the actual riots. It's a multi-layered thing. There are a lot of people, they're talking about racism. There's some people talking about police brutality, So I guess we'll just kick it off and, what's everybody's thoughts on this shit?
Well, let's kick off this subject. What I want to start off with is the fact that they instituted that curfew. That just made stuff even worse over there. Because now it's like whenever they're past that curfew, when they're out there, it's like fair game for them police officers.
It's martial law.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Yeah.
I mean, and the people are out there. They're protesting.
Right.
And so there's a lot of arrests going on. There's a lot of bad blood, I guess, in the air. You can feel it. There's tension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess why would you add to it? I guess the curfew is instituted by like political officials, right? Like these are like the mayor,
mayor,
that
yeah,
comes
like
on
the
screen.
mayor and-
Right. So now you got the mayor getting involved and trying to quell it, but he's not for the people
Well, she
who are in the
is, by the way.
streets
She.
that are outraged. His voters, his constituents.
She. It's
She-
a female
She,
mayor.
yeah, it's a female.
Oh,
mayor.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
But
I want to make sure the
let's be
listeners know.
honest.
Right.
Let's be honest. The way I see it, she's sticking her nose in something on the wrong side.
Ice cold thoughts.
I don't know. It's pretty unfortunate, and I think the media's using this to their advantage, trying to create a conquer and divide type of attitude when it's really not a race issue. It's more about police brutality and how they could get away with things. I think that's more so that than actual race. But
And-
you know, there's a spin-off from the media.
Right, which I wanted to tackle a little bit because again,
I
going
might not
through-
agree with that. 'Cause
Right,
I
well,
do think there's racism involved.
right. Well,
There's
I'll
always
tackle
racism
that.
involved,
I'm gonna tackle
but
that because
it's not-
when you go through Facebook and social media, you do get the mixed views where you see, black outrage and white apathy. My viewpoint on it, as far as it only really becomes a race issue when you're dealing with like the way the prosecution's handled, the way the legal system's handled. In these situations, like when you look around and you see people's reactions to it, people aren't mad about the cops that broke Freddie Gray's neck. People are mad about the riots and the broken windows and the bullshit. Now,
Right, it's almost like the protest did more damage than good, right?
that's what they're trying to make it seem. But to me, when being black in America, and when you see these scenarios happen over and over, it hurts to see white people really. Well, I'm not going to say all white people, but I'm going to say your average white American who's still plugged into the matrix. How they get outraged about protests, and you're not even giving a shit about what we're protesting about.
True.
You know what I mean?
I can see your thoughts on that.
And my honest opinion is that the powers that be, government, media, whatever, have pretty much figured out how to use white apathy as a tool against America. You understand what I'm saying?
I see your point on the racism on that end of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. But there is a racism that's happening at the very point of contact between the officer and, at this point, I'm going to have to say the victim.
Okay.
The victim,
Alright.
meaning protester?
No,
Yes?
the victim of anybody who's been talked to by a police officer. There is a racism that's going on at the point of contact of these two people in their conversation. Let's be honest. If the cop feels, quote, threatened, he's gonna
Overreact.
right, he's gonna act in a certain manner if he feels threatened.
Yeah.
But perhaps he would feel more threatened by a black person than a white person.
That is something.
Now,
that,
why would they feel more threatened versus a black person versus a white person?
You tell me, that's something that the white cop would have to explain.
Right.
Because we're saying that that's happening.
Right.
That the cops have itchier trigger fingers
when it comes to
on a black person's face
versus a white
than a white
person.
person's face.
Could it be
And that's
stereotype?
the racism. Well, it's racism.
But that's racism.
When you paint a picture
Yeah.
automatically
When
of
you
somebody
automatically
negative,
feel threatened
when
by
I'm more of
someone-
a threat than Sprawl is, just because you walked in the room, that's racism. You have an automatic snapshot of what the person of this skin tone is about. Big bald head black guy with tattoos.
Right.
But that's more of like
That's
a
racism.
It's more of an instinctive survival method. You know that, right?
No.
Like, to identify people where they're
that's
from.
racism.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
no.
an instinctive thing.
It's
Now-
not
between
when
the
you're
color of
in
their
part of
skin.
a society now, though. You're part of a society. You're supposed to know better than I can't automatically just assume because he's black and he looks a certain way that he's a threat to my life.
But you
See,
can't
'cause-
take away hundreds of thousands of years of
Yes, you
evolution.
can, because I don't think that
That's
way.
the training that they need to have.
I don't think that way.
The
Do you
training
think
that
that
a
way
cop has
when you
is
walk
not
into a
to-
certain...
No, but
Shouldn't be
That's what I'm saying.
ascertained.
You can do away with that hundreds of thousands, and it's not hundreds of thousands of years.
Yes,
Of
well,
how
it's a
are black people a
hunter-gatherer
threat for
civilization.
hundreds of thousands of years of white people?
no. Well, it's just no. Not even. I'm not talking about context white-black issue, by the way.
But no,
There's
but-
other skin tones out there. Anyway, so
Well, no,
basically,
I
you can tell
understand that.
if the person's from your tribe or not, or if they're a friend or foe. This is everything's calculated within the first 10 seconds of a person to whether or not if they're safe or if they're foe, or it's a survival mechanism. It's just the way it is. Now, if you have
understand
stereotypes built in you because you don't have black friends or you're not in a black neighborhood,
Right.
you're gonna have these stereotypes. Yeah, black people eat grapes, grape soda, drink grape soda or whatever.
Right,
and,
but you're dealing with
watermelons
the more dangerous type
But what I'm
stereotypes
saying is,
where
but that falls into it, like where everything, like, oh yeah, all black people carry guns, or they might be hostile to cops because they're
right,
black.
right, but that's racism.
I don't think that's racism.
How
I
can
think
you not say it
because
is?
what if one person doesn't know any better? What I'm saying is like,
It's just because you don't know any better doesn't make it not racism, and I think that's the big point in America. And
Right.
I'm
They
glad
don't
that you brought that up.
realize it's racism.
It's subconscious. You don't realize that you're
There's hidden
racist.
racism in America. And
Half
I'll
the
give you a case in
racist
point.
people out there don't know they're racist.
Yo, I see. Ready for this one? This is a good one. This is just a little bit of hidden racism in America. And
Okay.
The average everyday travel kit.
Continue.
The toiletry items involved in your everyday tablet, in your everyday travel kit,
Everyday travel kit.
is a scissors, perhaps a razor,
okay,
perhaps a nail clipper,
okay,
perhaps a nail file. Nothing racist yet until you get to that comb, that fine bristled comb, that really fine bristled comb. Who is that for?
There you go.
I see. Can you run a really fine bristled comb through your hair?
If I had hair, no, I could not.
right.
Really?
But it's just
So
people.
who was that travel case made for?
White people. The
Really?
general population.
So there you have it. No, you may laugh, but
Again,
that's hidden.
it's part of
That travel case, when INC sees that travel case, it's not for him. He needs something.
you have to find
he
the
needs
black
some-
specific one.
I understand.
Right.
It's just like finding a pair of panties inside the bag and saying, "Oh, this is not mine." I mean, come on.
Well, no, he means when buying it out the store. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh.
again,
But what I'm saying is, yeah,
but to
you can
deal
still-
with, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. It does go back to that survival mechanism, that fight or flight.
well, not
right,
even
that's your
fight or
R-type
flight. It's- Well,
brain.
yeah, it's just identify, assess, and then
Right, to
Go on
identify a threat. Now, when you have a media that feeds you nothing but black violence and black thuggery and
well, that's where the stereotypes walk in.
right, and this is what's triggering that survival mechanism in these, white officers or, what I mean, whatever other color officers are doing this type shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But what it is that you can't allow that R-type brain to override the mammalian and the human parts of your brain. You have to realize that just because I see you doesn't mean that you know Kung Fu.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
understand.
have to
But-
know better. You have to override that.
What I'm trying to. All right. So like, if we look at the core issue of it,
Okay.
don't like you said, it's the news, the media, media meaning like movies, TV shows. Bill Cosby, for the longest time when he was on that Cosby Show, he did not want to play a black thug, pimp, anything that
No, Bill
desecrated
Cosby was
a black
very
person.
conscious of his image.
Yeah, and he did that on
I'm glad you
purpose.
brought him up.
Anyway, so I think the real boycott, I mean, the real issue at hand is media, is all that encompasses in that.
Yo, real quick. I mean, I'm glad you brought up Bill Cosby, because I was
All
thinking
right.
about Bill Cosby. I was talking about him to a friend of mine, and honestly, can I tell you, where is all the black positive role models? This is just a little sidebar. Black positive role models. When I was growing up, if you asked me who was the black positive role model, I mean, in my day, it was Bill Cosby, and man, did they not paint his picture all fucked
And
up.
they ruined that. But again, this is something that we in black circles that we do notice and we talk about. And again, like you said, right, the core of the issue is media portrayal
Right.
of people.
Yes.
And
And I think if we solve that, I think we can take away the stereotypes, and hence there will be less tension between two groups of people.
Or
this is true.
Or
I
does
do
the
agree
media
that
only
is.
mirror the actual racism that's going on?
Well,
that's what I'm going to argue.
See, that's another thing because there
I'm
is.
going to argue
There is racism,
Right.
but
core
racism
of the
I'm talking
issue-
about is picking over. Sorry, I'm one second. It's picking over somebody else, like a white person and a black person for a job, and you're the boss, and you choose a white person over a black person. That's
Right.
true racism.
Right,
I don't
that's
think the
racism.
stereotypes is racism. It's ignorance,
But
and
if
the
the-
fact that they don't know any better. I feel like that's
So you're talking about conscious racism versus unconscious
Right.
racism. But this is the thing, and this is the thing that I don't
But
think
does that make it any less better?
well,
right.
how okay, so like, you know, if a kid did something wrong, right,
Mm-hmm.
and they were 5 years old, but they did something pretty bad, but they didn't know any better, you would
Right.
understand it.
Right, and let me get this point here. This is what I'm saying. This is how I really try to address white people. Like, I don't hate white people. I get that white people have been coddled by society since pretty much the foundation of
Pretty
America,
much, yeah.
right? They've never really been the enemy, with the exception of the Russians. The enemy always looks different than you. The TV always portrays the differences of race and,
Yep.
and cultures and all that, but it's never just the white guy's the enemy. It's always white people have always been able to trust authority, right? So now that you have the, hundreds of years of coddling, when you see that, your racism and that your reality is starting to crumble around you,
Right, it's not
you
as
do
perfect
anything
as
to
it
defend
seems.
it. Right.
And that's
so
why-
a lot of white people don't know that you have these racial views. When you see black people getting killed by police, your automatic assumption is that black person did something bad. But you don't realize on the flip side of the coin, the police have been terrorizing black people since we've got to this country.
And let's be honest, this guy, Freddie Gray, did have a record, he did have a rap sheet, and he was probably selling drugs that day. But here's the thing, that doesn't
Regardless.
deserve
I
him to
don't know
get
that.
executed like that.
Well,
Again,
I wouldn't throw the term execution. I would say
How would you call it?
negligence
It was
and overabuse of
three
power.
motherfuckers to
overabuse.
one.
Overuse, yeah,
Definitely
overabuse.
Overabuse, yeah.
Because those cops, that they weren't beating on his ass while he was on the ground in handcuffs.
It was
right?
a manslaughter case.
Right. So they basically,
definite
they
manslaughter case.
snapped his neck, and they did it. They did improper, arresting methods, I guess.
Now, did they snap his neck because he's black? We don't know that, and you
I'm
can't
gonna
really
say-
prove that. And again, when you look
You
up
never
the
know-
6
never know.
officers
Yeah.
who were participating, 3 of them are black, 3 of them are white. And I believe the 3 black ones weren't directly hands-on with Freddie Gray,
Right.
from what we understand so far. But they were in higher chains of command or whatever.
Well,
and
the one black guy was a driver, right?
one was a driver.
He was driving Freddie around. The other black sergeant, a female, she was, the supervisor on scene.
right.
And the other black person, I'm not too sure what the other person did, but if you look at the video of the arrest of Freddie Gray, you'll just see 3 white officers there present at the time.
Got you.
So
Got you.
the other officer wasn't immediately involved.
Right. So here's the thing: as we sit here in May of 2015, I think the reason why you get and again, I think the riots are cooked up. But even if they were genuine, the reason why you get the riots, the reason why you get the anger, is because it's 2015, and we don't know if these cops are going to be charged.
Yeah.
It's a
basically.
question, and that is enraging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like, when you see, like, a case like Trayvon Martin, right? And you see how people really stuck up for Zimmerman. People were giving him money. You know what I mean? Like, that killing Trayvon Martin was the best thing George Zimmerman ever did in his life. Like, it's been his upside. Though it's been proven since he's a psycho.
Right? He's a
Yeah,
superstar, though.
he's
Yeah,
just gets
he's
into
a
trouble
superstar.
everywhere.
And they're people who I know personally, who I considered friends, who were, oh, Trayvon Martin, he was a large kid, though. I was a large kid. Does that mean that me walking in the wrong neighborhood warrants me getting killed? Like, I've been attacked going through white neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I had people pull up their cars and fuck you, nigger, and start throwing shit at me and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if had they been bullets, America would have been painting a bad picture of me.
Because
Right.
of
And
your
that's
skin
where
tone,
the-
because of your skin tone, you're automatically perceived as a threat.
Right. And it does go to that instinctive mind that you're talking about, but you gotta override it and say, wait, I don't know the
training,
details.
But I don't
the
think people
extensive
are
training the
aware
police
enough.
But
have
we are.
should
Well,
include
That's what I'm
that's what we're
saying.
trying to tell people.
that deprogramming of the racism.
Right.
That should be part of their standard issue training. That they have to approach people in the same manner.
You should make
Let's
white
be honest.
cops live with
Let's
black
be honest.
families.
That should go to kindergarten, dog. That should be in kindergarten. People
but I'm
need to
saying
learn how to
as
coexist
becoming
with
a-
other
but
people.
part of
Yeah.
becoming a cop. Kids look.
Right,
let's be
but
honest,
you're not gonna
kids
fix it.
nowadays are kids don't. If you ask me, kids don't start off racist.
Right. It's
They're-
not
it's a
naturally learned.
behavior
Yeah, no.
from their parents
Right.
or from society or
Yeah,
from
it's
their own
definitely
fears.
nurture and not
right,
nature,
it's-
yeah.
Right.
Right.
It could be programmed into them from like media, like, but they don't start off racist.
Right, no doubt.
So like,
No
you
doubt.
know, I mean,
But
it's gotta be definitely a part of the programming of a cop, though.
well, that's the thing. You got people who become cops
can't
strictly on that basis. Yeah, and
knock
you can
it out of
lie.
them by the
If
age,
you're a
yeah.
And
conscious
they don't belong
racist,
cops.
well, no, they
Well, how you
shouldn't
gonna
become
screen
cops,
for
but
that?
you can't screen it. If
Right.
you're a conscious racist, you can
You could be
pass
like,
the screening.
yeah,
You can lie.
I
Even if
treat
you're an
everybody with
unconscious
respect.
racist, because again, this is where, and a great point, because again, that's that all lives matters thing, right?
Right.
So that's what, no, not Black Lives Matter, all lives matter.
matter.
Because again, you know the regurgitated speech where no, everybody's equal.
Right.
But the problem is, well, right now we're fixating on the black ones because it seems to be when black kids get killed, there's no repercussion for it. So if all lives mattered to you, you would care about the black lives. All the other lives seem to be in decent standing.
Right.
The black ones are being fucked up. But again, you can regurgitate, no, everybody's equal, everybody's fine. Even though you have these, you know, you see a big black guy walking down the street, you want to inch up on your gun.
Yeah.
It's subconscious. Racism is really subconscious. And that's why, again, I don't hate white people. You know what I mean? I understand that you have been coddled and programmed by society, probably worse than anybody. Black people, we know the government can do some fucked up shit. We've seen it happen. Jewish people know a government organized against you can really fuck you up. Asian people know when they were doing the Japanese roundups and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That when the government wants to conspire against you, it'll go down. But white people have never really experienced that out in the open yet. It's happening to them, but they're just going along with it because they think I can trust the president, I can trust the police, I can trust the military. They're not doing anything bad. We're spreading our freedoms, support our troops, whatever. Come on, they threw two planes into 2 buildings and 3 buildings fell.
Right. I guess what you're saying is what's going on. Right. You could say all that shit, but the way it's looking right now and the way that things are progressing, it looks like they're militarizing the police in an effort against the populace.
So, to your point, Sprawl, I think this was a dry run for martial law and see how quick they can activate the National Guard, get into the city, and how many people.
I think
This
that's
was a
what they've all
live
been.
drill.
They pulled police from New Jersey and Pennsylvania
Yes.
down there. You know what I mean? It's all a drill. And the thing is, again, white people are the largest population in America, right?
Yep.
So if you can keep them asleep while we're running these drills, nobody will be aware of what they're doing. Because
Interesting.
black people are always complaining about racism. They're always pulling the race card, and they want I seen this bitch say, "Why do these ignorant ass people expect special treatment?"
What?
Talking about the protesters in Baltimore, special treatment
Special treatment.
to
for what?
not get killed by police.
Yeah.
This is their mindset. This is what they
I can't
think.
believe they could-
You see what I'm saying?
off they
They're
stay.
totally asleep to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
Because it's just like that old axiom that they talked about during the Holocaust. When they came for this group, I didn't care. When they came for
Right.
that group, I can't quote it, but again, it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
look the other
And
way.
by the time, right,
They're
they
actually
came
a
for
part of
me, it's too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, white, and again, I'm gonna get flack from black people for saying this, but the biggest game is being ran on white people.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can see through the government shit because we've been open victims of their tyranny.
Yeah.
They haven't yet, and they're asleep. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they use that race card to play against everybody. So again, when I say things like, I pissed off my homegirl the other day because I said something like, white people have a fuzzy moral compass. You know what I mean? She was kind of mad when I said it, and I haven't got a chance to really explain it to her yet. But I really want her to understand, like, y'all worry about the wrong shit. When y'all say that support our troops shit, And then you see the soldiers that come home with injuries and PTSD, and they don't get no
They
help
don't
from the
support 'em for
government.
shit, man.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't get shit. They're out there fighting and killing innocent men, women, and children for no reason, for a corporate agenda.
But they got
I
game
don't want
on
them
y'all.
out there.
They got
Right.
game on everybody. Let's
They
be
got
honest.
game on everybody.
They got game on everybody.
They got game on everybody, but white people are falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
And not all of them. There's a lot of them that are awake. There are a lot of them that are unplugged, and I'm glad to see it. But they still got the mass majority asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And instances like this in Baltimore, you just see it more and more. And it sucks, dude. It really sucks to see it. You know what I mean? So, anybody got anything else to touch on with it? You know, there are other angles. There are other angles I want to bring up, but I'm kind of hogging the mic.
That whole thing with you saying that perhaps these things were all fabricated in order to make a drill situation sounds really interesting.
I think that's what it is.
I think it was a dry run.
Because if we go to that guy, I can't remember his name, who was shot in South Carolina. I think we talked about him last week, did we? The dude was running away and he got shot in his back 8 times.
Walter Scott? Or
I think so. And the dude was from, he was from Jersey, the cop that shot him or whatever. So there's conspiracy theories going around how that's fabricated footage.
Well,
Right?
wait.
Happen.
You just blew my mind with that. I think I need a commercial break, dog.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, I think I need a commercial break, dog.
All right, let's
'Cause
take a
you
quick
just blew
break.
my mind with that drill thing, man. I can't. You started throwing some other names in there, like I was like, who are these people?
I got you.
Yeah, I literally, you blew my mind. I think I need a break.
You want to take a break? All
Let's
right,
do
not
it.
a problem. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back. Smokers Roundtable.
Now for a break.
Yo, what's good, world? This your man, EYEINSEE. I want to thank y'all for tuning in and supporting the podcast. While we on this little break, why don't you hop over to my website, EYEINSEE.com, EYEINSEE.com. Check out my album V, which is also on Google Play and iTunes. While you over there, also help yourself to some of the free mixtapes I got, including Escaping Reality and one of my personal favorites, NES, which is featuring my man Shifty and SPRAWL BANGOWITZ. Once again, that's INC.com, EYEINSEE. Supporting me helps support the podcast.
If you're an adult who enjoys a good beer, there's a similar product you might want to know about. One without all the calories and serious health problems. Less toxic so it doesn't cause hangovers or overdose deaths, and it's not linked to violence or reckless behavior. Marijuana. Less harmful than alcohol, and time to treat it that way. For more information, visit marijuanaissafer.org.
All right, y'all. Smokers Roundtable. We back from the break.
Had to go to round 2 for that one because that one I had to
Give
clear
it a
my
little
head.
breather.
A little too much.
So where we ended off was talking about the possible conspiracy in the police brutality. So if y'all go on YouTube, they got a couple people with some videos out there that's talking about, you know, if you see that video where I forgot the guy's name, but Wilson Scott, was it, or something like that, when he's running away from the cop and he gets shot.
Oh, the dude that got shot
8
in the
times.
back.
Yeah, he got shot in the back 8 times. When you look at the footage and you look at it closely, he's not bleeding. There's no blood on his clothes. There's also some inconsistency in the video with him getting out the car running, and the video that you see him running from the cop and getting shot. There's inconsistencies in that shit. And let's be honest, the media's been real hush about it. I think they realized they kind of dropped the ball because they don't talk about that one. You know what I mean?
Huh. Well, that's an interesting thought as well, I must say. But
Think about it.
let's I mean, I see where you're going with your train of thought on this.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you're saying is the advantage. The advantage is for the government to have these military training operations to go down in these areas where they're causing and inciting an issue that may not be real.
Yeah.
I see that, and I see that you think there's a media cooperation involved.
No doubt. No doubt.
I want to play just for the sake of argument, I want to play the
antagonist.
anti-guy that's
Alright.
saying, like, the one that's saying, like, yeah, right.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. And let me just put it on, because I see that, and that's a very deep level.
Right.
But I guess on the level that I see it, because I want to take it down a level and say, and put it on a more personal level,
All right.
and say that it's still the people that are inciting these things. It's still a police versus. There's still a police issue that hasn't been addressed in this country, and whether the government is manipulating these police things or not, it would take us, in order to solve this issue, is to quell the issue with the police and the public. If we can somehow get through all what's going on and solve this, then the government wouldn't have that to play on us anymore.
So you're saying they're using our own weak points as a society, and that's what they're using to pit against us?
Right, and if we could only solve somehow, and I know it's like
Tie
it's
up
a
our weak
hypothetical
points,
thing,
right?
Because I don't know if we, right, like you said, I think in the last statement, all these, hundreds of years of pent up racism and full blown out racism,
Right.
like, are we able to even erase that? And I see that. Now, I don't know if that's even possible, but if it is possible, then we would no longer allow them to use it against us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got
I
to,
agree with that.
as a society, somehow come together and fix this issue, because the powers that be know that it's a dividing force for us.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't come together, I guess in a solution, in a grand scheme of things,
Right.
type of fashion, if we don't somehow solve this issue between the distrust of the police and the police's aggressiveness towards the population, like we both have problems on our side.
Right. I
You
mean,
know? And
it's,
they're able to exploit those problems.
I think authority exploits itself, though. Because even when you got somebody that, they might be at your job, and when they get a little position or a pay raise or whatever, they end up acting like they're big shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? People abuse power. Power corrupts.
Money,
That's just
power
what it
corrupts.
does.
So there was a study in what was it, California at a college, where they had a mock thing where there was a bunch of law students, and they created a prison, and people were assigned to be prisoners and officers, right? Well, after this whole thing went through its course, they found out that the officers were found to be actually beating the prisoners.
Yeah.
They were fellow classmates, okay? They were beating them. They were doing unspeakable acts to these prisoners.
Right.
In this whole study, they were monitoring. They're allowed to do it just for the experiment. Nobody got
Right.
killed, but it was so horrible. The college actually told the professor that in order for him to keep his job and everything else, he was never even repeat what happened in the experiment.
Wow.
Never, try it again, do anything, go into that venture.
I'd like to know if that was even a published experiment.
It is.
And that seems
ill.
very, very...
Go look it up. So
Excellent.
essentially, this guy found out that the correctional officers got that.
The abuse of power.
Right.
Yeah. That's just something power does to people. I think when society in itself has to change, because I really feel that when you grow up in America and there's no other, like if America gets complete hold of your mind, you end up being a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that's why America has such a negative view across the world, because really, like, we're, it was like that South Park episode. I say that all the time on the show, but like where they're I'm a little bit country, I'm a little rock, and they're saying, how, we'll look like the country that wants peace, but we're always the ones that are going to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a two-faced kind of country, and I think it's the sickness is ingrained in society. You know what I'm saying? So
Double
it's,
speak.
Yeah, double speak. Double speak is like the American tongue. Double speak is the
Double
American
speak.
tongue. That's what we speak in this country. You know what I mean? And it's a lot that we have to that we gotta wake up from, man. You know what I mean?
So just to cite that study I was saying, it was a Stanford prison experiment in 1971.
All right. So y'all can look that up.
Yeah.
And y'all can see the crazy
Definitely
shit.
gotta hear that.
You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, and this is why some people are anti-gun. Even though Freddie Gray wasn't killed by a gun, but I think these are instances that are starting to pop up with people where they're like, well, look, if there were no guns on the street, we wouldn't have as many of these instances. You know?
I see that being, you know, somewhat of a good idea.
Right.
Here's why. Because let's be honest, the accessibility to guns in America is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It is excessive. They're not checking the backgrounds as well as they should. The laws are convoluted. They're different in every state.
You can get them on the street.
Right. And that's right, but that has to get all tightened up on.
And
Like-
how do you propose to do that?
Oh, I'm not proposing to do anything. I'm just pointing out the problems. I can't.
I don't know answers.
In my heart of hearts, I know where I stand in this world, and I know that me personally, I don't have the power. But I'm saying, like, as a roundtable nation type of ideal, I guess, that as hypothetically that's would be the right way to go. Like, I guess, because there's no way I could really do it myself. But
I mean,
the
if you were to jot
accessibility
down
is
the
just
idea,
too-
you
right.
know what I mean?
The accessibility is too easy. You gotta tighten up and figure out who's getting these guns. And the problem is that's what scares Americans the most. They don't want you to know who has, you know, like, it's not the government.
Where they're getting the guns? Well, because, I mean, I hate to be, you know, conspiracy Joe, but, I mean, they have government-issued guns in a lot of these projects and shit like that. Like, they bought guns in. They brought the guns in with the drugs. That's been proven on record, actually.
Right. Not even in just this country, all over the world.
Yeah, that's something they do.
They sell conflict.
They disenfranchise you, and then they give you a way of making money that harms you, i.e. drugs, and then they give you guns, and now you'll fight each other and kill each other to survive.
Right.
It's like the powers that
gave
be.
them the weapons to be harmful.
Yeah, it's basic psychology. They use basic psychology against us. It seems so complex down here, but the way that when you really look at it objectively, it's basic psychology. I mean, and not to go off on a rant, but even to touch on like Ice Cold's point with that Stanford study, like that's really was the father of racism, right? When America was founded, there were black and white slaves. And they don't talk about that, right?
Yeah, the
But
Irish.
there were black and white slaves. What ended up happening was they started, you know, overthrowing the ruling class. So what the ruling class did was give more privilege to the white slaves, i.e. they would let them manage the land, run the land, whatever, and then you control the black slaves. So now we have the same parallel in society where the middle class, which was the white slave who now just got this white privilege, gets to rule over the black slaves. That's good enough for him. He turns his back on the rich person who's really playing against him too. But I gave you this little bit of privilege so you can play with that while I'm taking over the rest of the country or while I'm fucking you in other ways. That was the birth of racism. That's why you have a white race. Because in reality, there is no white race.
There's
You know what I mean? There is no black race. Yeah, that was the father of racism. That's how it started. And we have it today. It hasn't gone away. It's the same mentality. The rich ruling class know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? So you got to get hip to what's actually going on. And if they taught real history in school, I think kids would just be a little smarter.
True that. You just kept it 100.
Hey.
You went on a little rant there.
It was
You
a
was
little bit of a
smoking
rant.
You was
Sorry.
smoking on that one. You was
A little
smoking
bit
on
of a
that one.
rant, but again, I want the listeners to understand, and anyone else out there to understand, like, the depth of the shit and how really the ruling class pits us against each other. So you can't say that there's no race issue and that it's just the ruling class pitting us against each other, because there is a race issue.
Right.
Well,
It's
they're
been there
using
since
that,
the
yeah.
start.
Right.
And I totally dig that.
Yeah, that's it.
And you see, and you see it today, and it's felt, and they're using that, I guess, as a tool and pitting us against each other.
Because when you watch Fox News, man, them motherfuckers are bad.
Yeah, they separate us by what? Income, by gender, by sexuality,
sex,
race.
Yeah, race.
What else? I mean,
every
you could pick
way.
a host of
Political
things.
party,
Right, political
religion.
party. Yeah, religion.
There's the big.
Always a
grid.
constant divide of separating us.
Yeah, constant
When
divide.
we have more common stuff involved
Mm-hmm.
than differences. But
Right.
we don't focus on that part.
Right.
Let me ask you this: do you think there's any correlation of the high influx of race-related news topics? Right, you got a high influx of race-related news topics.
Right. More reporting and whatnot.
Do you think that in part has anything to do with the black president that we have currently? Do you because here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I only say this because when he was elected for the first time,
Right.
the elation that people felt, and I guess the connection
Ooh.
that we all felt together as one nation. We came together, blacks and whites, I guess, came together to vote him in as Democrats, because I'm a Democrat, and I'm a Democrat voter, and I felt
Oh,
that-
you're
that
the
we all-
asshole in the state now.
that we all came together, and there was that feeling. There was that yes, we can.
There
that
was a
we
little bit of
can do it
euphoria.
as us together, all of us.
Okay. I'll
And
give
do
you
you
that.
think that there's some, that we had some connecting moments that they're now, I guess,
Undoing.
trying to undo with him leaving office?
I can't say no. I think that's brain tickling.
That right? And I just want to
That's,
throw that in there because I do
is
remember
interesting.
not too long ago feeling like that was the
It was a
media
big
pumping
yeah
feeling,
Yeah,
right?
it was
Like
a
we
big
we
step
were,
in
we
the
had
right
that,
direction.
right? We had that feeling that we were right, that we were going in the right direction racially in this country, even though it was Versace. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was total bullshit.
Right, it's Versace, right? But we had that feeling.
Just because you're like one black
And
person, you
now
can still be
they're
racist.
pumping this agenda that race relations are bad, and so now we're having a different feeling. We're having
Yeah.
this feeling.
Yeah, I mean, and it's something that we always say. When the media is talking about it a lot, there's something to it. You know what I mean? They never report anything without some sort of agenda,
There's agenda
attached to
involved,
it. Yeah,
right.
we know their language. We know what to expect. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It just sucks that they're able to still kind of use that card against us. And I think that's what's just, disheartening.
We're so sheeple.
Yeah,
We're so
yeah,
sheep.
like, you know what I mean? It's really, we fall for it every time. Race is just that topic that they know how to wrap our,
I guess, and here's what I want to know. I guess, do you think that the media is doing a good enough job? Because here I am. I kind of feel like I'm, I feel for the underprivileged in this, in all types of events like this, right?
Right.
My heart goes out to the victims and the victims' families and the underprivileged in this, and
The underdogs.
and the victims.
Yeah, no
Right?
doubt.
Of all this police brutality, right? Do you think that is also getting across to America in
What, the pain
From
of the
the-
victimhood? Or the people?
from the picture that the media is painting? Do you think that that America's hearts are going out to the victims, or do you
No.
think that their hearts are going out to the police officers that are fighting these?
It's to authority. That's the problem. That's why black people are rioting in the streets. Because y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a fuck. It's happening time and time again. And time again, Poor police, poor city, poor CVS.
So you do feel,
What about the black guy that got killed?
Right, so
no
you-
one gives a fuck.
So you're feeling that the media is doing a good job of swaying public opinion away from the victims.
That's what they do, because that's how they keep you divided.
And see that's the thing, because that shit doesn't penetrate me like that. But it must penetrate people differently.
Again, you're Jewish.
Right, and I felt the
Jewish.
racism.
You know what it's like to have
anti-Semitism.
have Big Brother against you.
I felt, you know what I'm saying? I felt people call
That's
me,
the thing.
you know, racial shit, like, and not like me because I was Jewish.
Right.
Hate me because you ain't me.
Yeah, when you're average white American, you've never had that type of oppression brought on you, so the pill goes down easily for them. You know what I mean? It's a daily injection of blue pill that white America gets. And, you know, we can fall for the bullshit sometimes, but there's always that little bit of red pill in our DNA, because we've seen what'll happen. You know what I mean? We've you know, minority people have felt it. You know, Mexicans are going through it.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean?
They're in the states that, you know, that border the United States and Mexico.
Yup.
They are really insane when it comes to their border patrol stuff, and they are stopping at nothing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous out there.
I mean, they're making it really tough. So the race, I guess, and here's the thing, I guess it's, I bet you that in our areas where we live, I'm talking where currently in the
Like
tri-state
Northeast,
area,
yeah.
tri-state area of New York, you know, Pennsylvania and New Jersey, you know, that we call that the tri-state. They might call it shit tri-states other places. I didn't think of that
States
until.
and groups.
Well,
it depends where you are.
We're calling it New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, like the tri-state area. And
I consider Delaware, New York, Delaware, Jersey, and Pennsylvania, since our location.
That's true.
Oh, anyway.
all right.
But
So, here's the thing. Do you think that we in our local areas are getting pumped with that type of racism, police against black people? And do you think they're getting pumped in other areas, like say the South more? Their areas are getting pumped more with immigration and Mexican stuff? And do you think, like, in other areas, like, do you think it's catered? Like,
It's
in
possible.
Florida, it's Dominicans, you know, that are coming over. Like, do you think...
it's possible, but I don't 100% know, because really being on social media, which you're not. You know, like I got
any of that social media
like
stuff.
I got homies in Japan and shit like that who are talking about, you know, the shit going on here. So it's really, I think it's the program is universal at this point, but I'm pretty sure on a local news level, or you know what I mean, their talk radio circuits and shit, they probably talk a lot of that immigration shit and all that crazy shit.
Right, you think it's more localized?
I'm sure they have, the local
always
news
is.
touches on, those type of issues and shit like that.
Throw an analogy out there on that. So, like, you know, the closer a building's on fire, the more excited you are, right?
Right.
So, like, you know, if this is happening,
when
maybe.
we hear about issues in Texas, it's like,
Right,
but when they hear it, it's, oh, God, you know what I mean?
Right, so I guess they have to do their localized terror.
Yeah.
Right, so and that's what incites them.
What would be our localized terror?
I don't know.
What's our thing? I don't even pay enough attention to really know, right? It's the illegalization of marijuana
we
is
get
my
that
localized
overflow.
terror.
We get to
Shit.
overflow Philly stuff.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, Philly was wilding out for a little bit. Remember they having them random pop up? What were they calling them? They weren't calling them riots.
Our
They were calling
localized terrorists.
them. There'd be
Camden.
just big groups of kids, and
Camden.
they would just form.
Flash mobs.
Yeah, flash mobs.
Yes.
Yeah, we had that. Was like last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised they won't come back
And they
around
just
again.
come
Those
right.
kids could
Well,
cause
think
some
about
ruckus.
In the local news, the first, like, 15 minutes of the news,
Yeah.
they're covering Camden. You know what I'm saying? They're covering Philadelphia.
Yeah, Camden, Philly.
And
Camden's getting a little
I mean,
bit better, but not a whole
From
lot.
personal experience, there's places in Philadelphia that, like, I know not to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I would only have that feeling because of what I saw on the news.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's place. All right, like, ready? I'm just gonna shout out to my people on South Oak Lane. But them people out there got me feeling like I shouldn't be out there.
It's so like if you look at the actual stories, most of the time if you follow through, I feel like they're related.
West Oak Lane and
Wait,
East Oak Lane.
you
there
hear
it is.
you
East
hear
Oak-
shootings and stuff. It's only because it's not random. It has to do because somebody has beef with somebody else. You just
Well-
happen to be there.
Well, all I'm saying is because of that, Oak Lane, I ain't going out there. Sorry.
And you know what? And I wanted
that's
to
only
bring
because
this
of the
up
news.
since we're a
It might be cool.
multicultural show and shit like that. So like, so you would feel uncomfortable walking around Camden, Sprawl?
Well, and here's the thing. According to the news, because here's the thing, there's places I haven't already been. Like,
Right.
I haven't been to every street in Camden.
Right.
Okay, what do you
right,
hear?
right.
What do you
I haven't
hear
been
from
on
them?
every street?
Right, but
But-
they would have you thinking it's not safe for you to
Yeah.
be in
Right,
Camden.
and, right.
What
'cause-
news do you hear that you feel unsafe?
Well, right. When I hear the news,
What type of news do you hear? Like shootings? Like
oh yeah, shootings,
muggings?
robberies, stabbings.
You see, and the thing that's weird about that, which I was always perplexed by, because I hear it a lot, you know what I mean, with
Right,
people
and,
I'm around and
Like I
shit.
hear it,
But, like, white people don't get killed in Camden.
right.
and then
So you never hear about white people. It's
They're
always
not gonna
because,
fuck
like
with
I alluded to before, it's always related. Beef.
Right, right. If you got a gang war going on,
They're
or
not
you got
going
a,
after
a
you.
drug cartel type
That's-
situation,
that may
right?
be
You're
the
gonna have numerous
situation.
deaths.
Because there's
of those
places in
people.
Camden I love. Like, let's not get it twisted.
Right.
I love going down and seeing Campbell's Field and watching the River
Right.
Sharks games.
Right.
Like, let's not get it twisted.
Downtown Camden
not
City.
bad.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, hitting up the, what is it? Is it the Tweeter Center or the Susquehanna? That's
I don't know
whatever.
what it is now.
Yeah.
Every
don't
week
fucking
it's a
know.
different
I think
name,
it's
but yeah,
Susquehanna.
the old concert hall that they got out
Yeah.
there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Right.
I mean, it's wonderful. But every time I go there, I know when I go, because I usually don't drive. I usually get a buddy to drive,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go out there and they be like, "Don't go that way. See, if you go past that street, that's where the bad stuff happens."
Right.
And,
right.
and I'm only getting that from somebody who obviously
Yeah, but
knows the area
you-
more than me.
You gotta ask him where he's getting that info from, man.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
heard it from
Right?
somebody
I'm
else, and he
hearing
just
it from
doesn't even know.
somebody else. It's how I'm
Yeah,
getting
and that's the
mine.
thing. I mean,
They
there
tell me to stay away. I'ma listen.
there's probably some neighborhoods that you don't want to fuck with regardless, right?
Right.
Like, I'm certain that there are places where they might cap you because they don't even know who you are.
Right.
Possibly.
Maybe
right?
in Compton on certain streets,
certain
Yeah.
places.
you happen to be wearing a certain color.
Would you want
Yeah,
to
right,
Jamaica?
right. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. That's definitely one of the places that I would be leery of.
Right, like say Jamaica.
Now,
Would you want to
yeah.
do it in Jamaica?
Well, Jamaica has a lot of poor people, so they do rob.
Yeah, Jamaica.
And if you find out why
you
they're
might
poor,
get
you'd
it
be
in
disgusted.
Jamaica, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know who lives around here, and
Right.
they might have somebody who's living around here that's from that does that might be into that shit. I don't know. America's got to work. You know what I'm saying?
I kind
That's
of
why
get where you're
America's
coming
always got-
from.
And
I
guess-
kind of get where you're coming
And here's
from.
the thing, I guess that might be that ingrown racism that we were talking about in the last segment.
And that's basically what it is. It's what you get from the media. And again, being from an outside area where you don't grow up with that, like, you might think twice because, again, where we grew up was a very multicultural place. You knew somebody from every race.
Yep.
So if you took it incorrectly, nobody that came from where we're from should really have racism in them, even though I know a lot of motherfuckers do.
Oh, they're still.
Yeah, they're still fucking fucked up in the head. But, again, because my whole thing has always been, if I know somebody from that culture, I can't diss that culture.
Right,
You know
'cause
what I mean?
Yeah.
I could personalize it.
I could personalize it.
face
So
on it.
yeah, I can't say that Koreans are one way or Jewish people are one way.
Right,
You know what I mean? I can't do it.
Right.
But I feel that there are a lot of people who do it the opposite way, where they say, "Well, the people are bad, but you're cool." You know what I mean? I think
Right.
that's really what it
Really?
is.
You think that's what they do?
I think
You're the
that's
only exception.
yeah, you're the exception, right?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
no.
I don't like niggers, but you're cool. I consider you like a black guy.
I've had that said to me
I've heard
before.
that before, yeah.
See,
You know what I'm
that's hard.
saying? That's the thing. And I don't think a lot of, and that's my thing, because I was thinking with my homegirl, like, I don't think a lot of people know our stories. You know what I mean? Like you was talking about, you went through as, Jewish kid.
Right.
What you going through as a Korean kid. I've been through as a black kid. We don't really like openly discuss this shit. But when we really would sit down and really compile these stories of racism, I think, in front of a white person,
Yeah.
they might actually start to get it. Like,
Wow.
really?
Yeah,
Because
that'd
they don't
probably
hear
be
it.
cool.
I never bring it up to white
That'd
people.
probably be cool.
You know what I mean? But
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they need to know, like, and again, start from kids. Start from kids. You got to get that clean slate, and you got to let them know, like,
Yeah.
look, it's not cool. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
You
mean,
got to start it with
But
the
I mean,
kids.
it's a lot of it, and here's the sad part: a lot of it when it comes to the kids is not what is taught to them as a kid. It's how they see it from their parents. So if
How they see it from
their-
society.
right? How they see it, like.
But it's also, you can't blame the parents. My one friend,
I
her
blame
son.
a lot about parents. Because
Well,
I feel
nah,
like
well,
parents
check
have been
this,
taking a
right?
back seat.
Nah, cause
To the kids
my
up here
one
in
my
this
one
country
friend,
for a long
right?
time.
Nah, my one friend, she's white girl. She has a mixed son. Now she is, super equality. I've talked to her about a bunch of shit. Her mind's on the right, her heart's in the right spot. Everything like that. She's not racist in any way, shape, or form. She's always been very curtailing to the fact that her son is mixed.
Right.
Her son comes home one day saying, well, right now he's, like maybe about 11, 12 or whatever. He comes home one day and says, well, why don't we just put all the black people away if they're the ones that do all the bad stuff?
Right. Well,
She didn't teach him that.
Wow.
The media taught him that.
Right, of course, there's more experience.
You know what I
kids
mean?
Get kids get that experience, from everywhere.
Right. You can't just blame the parents because sometimes society can get to your kid. And
But the
today,
parents should have been in there beforehand to step on that and say, right.
but you can't because you can't get deep inside the mind of a kid. You're not having his experiences. You're not observing what he's observing. You can only filter it when you see that it's an issue. But before, she would never, I'm sure she never thought that he would ever come home and think something like, he's half black.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just
Right.
doesn't identify with it.
And that's what's crazy about it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's crazy, right?
It's insane.
Yeah.
Self-hatred. So it is media manipulated. I'm gonna go as deep to say that, media manipulation,
See it all the time.
passive thinking that you understand something that you really don't know anything about. And I think that's deep with racism because, again, a room full of men, right? What do we know about sexism?
Nah.
Nothing. Did y'all hear how, what was it? They said Jennifer Garner still makes less than your average male Hollywood actor or something like that?
Yeah.
That
Probably
they leaked
make,
those papers or
78
something?
cents to the dollar.
It's something like that. Like women, right, you've heard that complaint before that women make less than men.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we as men sit here and we think that's bullshit. It can't be, right?
Yeah.
I see it though. Like,
But
I
it
understand
happens.
Right.
It does.
We don't know about it.
Yeah.
We're men. So when you're dealing with racism, when a certain group of people is saying something and you're not of that group, you can't talk to them. You can't talk at them. You have to listen to them.
Right, because you have no idea.
Because you're not walking in those
Right.
shoes. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing when you're dealing with homosexuals and transgenders and transsexuals and all that. And we crack jokes, but again, you gotta keep the open ear and you gotta hear what people are saying because you're not going through what they're going through. Everybody's got their own individual battle, and I think that's the mindset America has to start remembering to have.
Right, because like me, I'm a marijuana activist,
Mhm.
and I want to get my marijuana.
Yeah.
So if I get enough people to listen and chime along, eventually I want the government to listen.
Yeah. I mean, true. That is a specialized group as well, where there's people who don't smoke, who never smoke, don't know people that smoke, who are telling you marijuana's bad for you, it'll kill you, it'll make you rape your grandmother.
How do you know?
Exactly.
Know
Y'all
what
don't
everybody
smoke.
told them.
Exactly. They believe that reefer madness bullshit and all that. But in reality, there's a humongous population of people who smoke, who are functioning members of society, who are good parents, who are probably in a more advanced mind state than those who would never smoke. Because again, you're opening your mind and you get to realize that, hey, these motherfuckers lied to me about how terrible weed is. That's another red pill that you take, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is the weed pill.
And
what
I
I'm
tell
saying?
you though, how come when I got a little thing you talk about suspicious stuff on that Baltimore shit,
Yeah.
and how you say perhaps it was like a fabricated dealio.
Yup.
Yeah, you meant
Right.
the South Carolina incident?
No,
Or even saying the riot was incited.
right.
Yeah.
I think Oh, so you're saying that one wasn't the trading. This one wasn't trading. What? Are you saying that this
I'm saying
Baltimore one was trading as well?
In my opinion, the Baltimore riots were incited by authority in order to do another martial law training drill. That's my true opinion.
Right, for Baltimore.
Yeah, that was Baltimore.
And
South Carolina, I don't know if anything happened.
Was
They convicted they didn't convict him. They charged him.
more gas to the fire incident?
South Carolina was first, wasn't it?
No, there was. I mean,
wasn't?
you had the New York incident, Ferguson, Missouri.
Well, no, I mean in before Baltimore though. The Baltimore incident and then the South Carolina incident.
Shot in the back.
Yeah. Now I don't think
South Carolina.
the YouTubers have got me believing that guy's not dead. I think that was I think that was a hoax.
You're saying that was
I think it was a hoax.
And you're saying that Baltimore was perhaps a drill.
Yeah, Freddie Gray did die, real death, but actual it was a drill
for
as
military.
far as drumming up
standpoint.
the riots and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
When you follow these incidents and these protests, and when these protests get out of hand, again, they put in agent provocateurs to stir up the crowd.
Oh yeah, I've read a tweet for the Phillies Baltimore thing, and there's cops calling black people monkeys, man.
Yeah.
Right on the front lines.
Yeah, that's what they were saying happened in. I think they might even have footage of it where cops are throwing rocks at the kids. You know what I mean? So again, open up your third eye and realize that the authority will turn against you. You can't just bend over and submit to authority. It will turn against you. And lots of people have seen it, but there are a lot of people out there who, come on, they were calling this a war against police.
That's deep.
How you gonna call it a war against police? They're the ones that are killing people. We ain't killing cops. Not yet. Not yet.
But
If it gets bad.
I did hear something in the news today that they killed a cop in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna, I mean, again, and
They killed a cop in New York the other day, shot him in the
that's
head.
what's gonna get sticky, y'all. I really don't want to see people go that route because they're ready for us to go that route. But yeah, it may end up
They're
happening that way too.
militarized to the point
Exactly.
where they got tanks, basically.
Don't give them a reason. That's all I'm saying. Don't give them a reason. I know eye for an eye sounds great, but nah, man. Don't give these motherfuckers a reason. They're ready. They're ready. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Fucking trigger happy motherfuckers.
Don't give them a reason to kill you. So right now we're about an hour and 4 minutes in. So
Let's take a break.
well, that's about it. We run the shows to about an hour. I ain't
Yeah.
really got nothing else to talk about, and it's not enough time for us to cover all the other bullshit.
You know, party and bullshit, or entertainment and bullshit. The other
what's
day we
pop-
did an episode and we did something about
Who, the Jenner guy?
nah, we did something about
Okay, 'cause
the
you can't do
females
that.
breaking off a man's penis during sex.
Yeah.
An increase and a rise of
It happened to you?
instances. No, no, it didn't happen to me. But I must say, I think that was, you know, I was talking to a couple friends about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a little concerning to me, and I was talking to a couple friends about it, and we were all like, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't believe
Yeah,
it.
it happens.
But what we can believe,
Right.
And what's surprisingly sad part about the part we can believe
Okay.
is the fact that most men don't treat it.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
If you would have had it done, you'd kind of just let it be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ugh.
Because that's kind of a humiliating thing to have to
Right.
go into a doctor's office with.
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
broke my
man.
penis.
Yeah.
I just wanted to end on a lighter note, guys. Honestly, I can't think about that. I mean, it's such a tight, it's a touching subject when we talk about what's going on in B-more right now.
Yeah, and it's depressing. Is we're into as a country, but
And my heart goes out to everybody, but right now I guess my concerns are more
not getting
my
your
penis
penis
break.
broke. Something to be grateful for if you have a fully functional penis,
There you
it's
go.
something
It's
to be,
not all bad, America.
to be thankful for.
Yeah. You got a working way.
Yeah, so next week we're gonna try to get a special guest on for y'all. We're lining some shit up now. What else is popping? Anybody got anything they want to promote or plug, or
Nope.
any events or cool shit going on?
I currently still am not on any social media.
We're trying to actually plan a trip to Denver, and these guys want to drive out there, and I think we should fly.
Out there. Well, see, here's the thing. I want to see the countryside. I want to like stop at like the world's biggest hamburger and the world's largest vat of pudding.
I think you're kind of
Sprawl, why don't you go look this stuff up and let us know, and then we'll
like,
decide.
I want to do some research on like that Americana, you know, that like, you know, because if I'm gonna be traveling from New Jersey to Denver, Colorado, that's pretty much the entire country.
No, it's not.
Come on, yeah, it is.
It's half the country.
I'm
dog.
pulling up a map as soon
You
right
do that.
now.
You do that, and it's
Because
pretty much
it's
the
important.
It's three quarters. I'm gonna say 3/4 of the way through the entire country, and then you could see 3/4
All
of
right,
what's
here's
going
the
on.
map.
Think about it. All right, so stop
You
it.
call that 3/4 right there.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you want to pull up a map and laugh with us.
I'm saying Denver, Colorado is 3/4 away.
You know, I might give that to you. It's 3 time zones. What do you say, Ice Cold?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about.
3/4.
It's more than halfway.
Yeah.
But
that's about
regardless,
3
I
time
mean-
zones. That's about 3 times.
Anyway, we're not gonna look at the
and
states
we're
we'll
gonna
be
have to
passing
deal with the
through.
time zones.
And here's the
Yeah,
thing.
and look at the states.
Look how
you're
many
passing
states
through.
you're passing through. and
No,
you go,
but look at the states. Ohio, which I've been out
Ohio.
to, shouts to Ohio.
So let's see what's in Ohio. I bet you got the
Indiana.
largest, biggest pan. The largest,
World's
biggest
biggest
pan.
pan.
Yeah, skillet, you know, like, and they probably got corn. And like the world's
I
biggest
guarantee
corn
that.
maze.
I guarantee that. But look at the thing. You drive through Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and then you get to Colorado.
That's what I'm saying. You know, in Kansas, that you know the yellow brick road is gonna find you some hoes. Like, I don't know. Like that's what I'm thinking, man.
All right, 26-hour drive, right? 5-hour and 30-minute flight. Look at the time you're saving, dude.
I know you're saving a lot of time.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
if-
trying to go out
But
there.
what if-
I'm trying to
what
do
if
my
you're missing
thing.
out on the world's largest taco.
I'm
Like,
cool.
and
like,
the- and-
I have
and,
no
like,
desire to be in Kansas
You're not
or
going
Missouri.
to Kansas barbecue? Are you serious? You're gonna miss out on some true authentic.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
good.
see. I can't sway you, huh? Like
I think that you're going to regret it. I think that you are making
wanna get an
a
RV.
grand.
I want to get an RV.
Yeah,
and
see.
trip out there.
Yeah, but that's gonna be
I
expensive.
think you're national lampooning a little too
Oh
hard.
man, yeah, perhaps I am like.
I think it's going
overlooking this whole
because
thing.
again, if you're talking about making frequent stops and it's not 26 hours, if you're talking about stopping everywhere, you're talking probably about 30, 36 hours.
See, what I'm
Long.
talking about is like the 70s when you could get an RV and like go across the country and like
and
pick
the
up
hippie
strangers.
van and shit like
Right,
that.
and pick up strangers and
Yeah,
have like a fun
it's
time.
2015.
And drop acid.
I might get shot
talk
in
with
Missouri.
coyotes.
I might get shot in
do
Kansas.
peyote and run around in the fucking desert.
Yeah, see, that's what
We'll
I'm
just,
saying.
we'll just
You-
be like, he's with us. It's alright.
pretty much. Hopefully, I don't know. None of us are the right race for that part of the country.
that's true.
I don't know. I just think it would be fun.
I'm just saying though, but if you got that 5-hour, 30-minute flight, you
What
give
is that,
yourself.
Route 66?
I don't know what shit it is, but I know we're saving about 40 some hours, and that's time we could be out in Denver chilling and doing the damn thing out there. You know what I mean?
True.
We gonna have shops or
True.
whatever, and there's less time off you gotta take. So I don't know. I'm voting for fly, but we'll continue.
We'll get
to
back to you
discuss
on
it.
that, world.
So if y'all have feedback or if y'all have done the trip, hit us up on Twitter at SmokersRT,
Right?
Instagram The Smokers Roundtable,
Right?
of course the website TheSmokersRoundtable.com.
Right?
Got music for sale up on EYEINSEE.com. EYEINSEE.
Yeah, well, for real though,
Yeah.
hit us up with that, for real. Because I want to know if driving or flying is best. Is there anything worth noting that I'm going to see along the way? Or, like
you know what? We
any
could have
stops. I don't
shifted.
care if it's like the world's largest collection of tin cans. Like whatever is like the Americana that, you know, like those things that you just want to pull over. Roadside attractions. That's another word to call it. That I want to see roadside attractions. I want to pull over and see things that are gonna make you go like, this
But
is
you
fucking
realize
America. This is
that-
the heart of America.
But you realize that that's a 52-hour round trip, for you to see some shit on the side of the road.
It's a long.
There's a lot of
I
shit.
changed my mind. I say we fly.
Ice cold runs with flying. I think once you get to that 8th hour of driving, Sprawl, that you're gonna start to realize, like, oh my god, we could have been there already. And smoking. 5 hours and 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we can road trip around Denver. Come on, that's a big around Colorado. That's a
It's
big
a
state.
big state with a
We
lot
can
of
do
attractions.
the side of shit. Yeah, we'll do the fucking wild out shit once we actually get there. But we'll have a plane to take us back to civilization. So let's do that. We'll meet in the middle. And maybe we can go into Wyoming.
I say we leave it up to the fans here. I want to get some feedback on this.
Why would you want to go to Wyoming? Anyway,
I don't
I wanna
know.
know
He
if
wants to
there's
do
something
some
to
shit
see.
like
That's what I'm saying.
go see the biggest, fattest burger ever.
Nothing.
Here's what I'm
16-pound burger.
So, I'm saying I'm from New
Nebraska.
Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've only tripped out to so many different states.
Right.
And we're driving through them, but not actually enjoying them. Right?
Right, right.
I understand that it's going to get us to our destination quicker. But all I'm saying is, like, I would love to experience the subtleties, the subtleties of women and in other states.
I don't think you're going to be there that long, though.
They're all
You're
the same.
talking
They're
about
all pink
making-
inside. They're all good.
And, like, how long do you want to stay in each state?
Enough to say,
You know what I'm
enough
saying?
to flirt a little.
So you're talking at least 5 hours in each state?
And a
'Cause
roadside
you gotta
attraction. Where we pull over and
Yeah,
we
I
see,
think you're
and we
going to
see-
totally regret that. Maybe you do need. How far south have you been?
I've been to Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you
How far
drive?
west have you been?
I've been to Nevada.
As far as driving, I mean. I'm sorry.
Oh, as far as driving?
As far as driving.
Oh man, as far south as Pennsylvania, Delaware, no, what? Virginia.
Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
Okay.
As far south as Virginia.
Ice
drive.
Cold, you've driven to Texas before, right?
Yeah.
You've seen some of the people between here and Texas.
A little bit, yeah.
Is it really worth?
No.
I
Once
wanna
you
see
get
that
into
No different. I go,
really
I go
think-
off the highway, go to eat somewhere, stay. It's all the same.
Middle America is not that.
It's not that
I say we
interesting.
do a road trip around Colorado because we'll have our legalized pot. They can't fuck with us.
Yo,
And
you
we'll
guys.
do the damn thing,
See,
man.
I think one week I shouted out to the big women. This week I'm gonna shout out to the country women.
You know, shout out to.
I'm gonna
the
shout out
country
the
women.
country women
Hey.
that are in Middle America right now, and I'm gonna shout out these country women because I think they look good. And I just want to shout them out real quick because they're a little tougher than they're tougher than these women around our way.
I don't know
around
if you
our
would
way.
say tougher, man.
Yo,
man,
tough.
you're gonna
City
see your
chick.
pissy
City
little
chicks.
bitches
Yo,
everywhere.
you watch these women, they'll kill their own food, they'll cut it, and they'll fucking fillet it.
You gotta
and
go
they'll
to a
all the
farm,
way
son.
down from the
Yeah,
fields.
you're talking about farmer
Yeah,
chicks.
Yeah,
and she's
man.
probably got like
That's- and I
biceps the size
still
of your
think
head.
You're talking about like early 1900s. It's 2015. They got tractors now and shit.
Yo, I'm telling you, there's still
So,
chicks out there that do that,
well,
and I'm
fuck,
talking
man.
about them country women.
If we got any country listeners
The
who can
the
come up
hunting
with a
chicks.
reason
Where them
between
chicks that
now
hunt?
and Well, shit, it have to be. Well, I don't know. If y'all come up with a reason why you should actually do that road trip,
Chicks on
from
motorcycles.
Jersey to motherfucking
Shouting them out.
Yeah, to your place.
yeah, wherever you are in the interim, or in between those states,
Yeah.
give
Yo,
us a holler.
Right? If chick, y'all,
Let
can I
us know.
tell you?
But other than
I'm gonna
that,
shout out right now. The chick that's on the motorcycle, that's got the tattoos, that pulls up with a gun around her shoulder. That type of girl, they got the gun around her shoulder, tattoos on the motorcycle. If she pulled up and told me to get the fuck on this bike, motherfucker, I would jump the fuck on.
Yeah.
And she could
So-
take me wherever. She'll take me right into the sunset.
I think that we're gonna be flying.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Sprawl's having a fantasy that really may not come true. So, all right, so that's this week's podcast. I apologize for breaking format. Maybe next week we'll do all fucking format shit, and we'll go heavier on all the little shit, and we won't give y'all too much seriousness. We'll lighten up next week.
Yeah.
But, all right, so we're going to call it. That's the show.
Shout out to
Smokers
World.
Roundtable.
Peace.
We out. Peace.
Peace.